Hello, and welcome to another edition of Good Deeds. It's brought to you by justserve.org. Justserve.org is a wonderful place to start getting connected with organizations and nonprofits here in the Sacramento area that are making this a better community and helping people every day. If you've been looking for ways to get involved and make a difference in this community, start with justserve.org. Today, we are talking with Jennifer Fenton. She is from the Sacramento Region chapter of Breathe California, and we're going to find out more about the work that they're doing to make this a better community. Welcome. Thank you for the work you're doing, and thank you for being on Good Deeds.
All right, thank you for having me.
So we hear, it seems like, especially in recent years, we have heard a lot about the air quality in Sacramento. We get warning days when you need to avoid breathing the air, but the work that you're doing is going a long ways towards changing that, making it healthier for all of us. Can you tell us a little bit about the work Breathe California does?
Sure. Well, we've been active in the lung health space since 1917. So we're super proud that we have been able to accomplish so much. But as we all know, the air still needs some improving. And we are constantly trying to get to our youth to help us out with that. So we are active in local communities measuring the air quality near roadways. So that tends to be where most of our most harmful pollution is coming from at the moment. So the Sacramento region has its air quality in the questionable zone for quite a bit of time of the year, and 70% of that is generated from mobile sources. So we have worked hard over the last decade to improve all of that through better engine technology, alternative fuels. Now electric vehicles are kind of all the rage. So it's one piece of the solution, but also our personal choices. How do we get to and from? Can we bike? Can we walk? Can we carpool? Take transit? So I like to do all of those. And so anyway, all those little things add up to help improve our outdoor air quality.
Yeah. It can feel overwhelming, as you mentioned, and sometimes feel like, what can I do? I'm one person and this problem is so big, but if we all do our part, that big problem gets smaller. You're starting with the youth in our community and building those good habits and those good choices at an early age. What are some of the programs that Breathe California has in place for our youth?
Yeah, well, one of the ones we're super excited about is our food scraps and recycling program. And that may seem like a little bit of a stretch, but anything that we can do to improve the emissions from our waste to our emissions coming out of tailpipes is helpful. So we are active in 20 schools in the region where we go in and we talk to mostly elementary students, but some at older grades, about how to sort their food scraps after they're done eating. And so due to state laws that just recently went into effect, all schools are required to handle their food waste. And so by separating the food waste from the rest of the waste that goes to landfills, we're able to do something with it. And so the kids get to learn how it's a full cycle. So your orange peels, your apple cores, they get turned into nutrient-rich compost. And then for those schools with school gardens, that can go straight into growing new fun educational things in their own gardens. But for those that don't, it goes to a composting facility and then it gets distributed throughout the region. So we're excited that they get to have a say in it. They get to have a part. And then, as you know, kids, they take it home and they say, guess what I learned today? And that translates into action at home as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And, by starting these habits at a young age, those become lifelong habits and it can impact an entire family and an entire community. How can we as a community best support your work? I'm sure there's people watching right now that are very passionate about this subject. What can they do to plug in and help Breathe California?
Yeah, well, we have such a rich history and we're involved in so many different things. We would love for you to just stay in touch with us and subscribe to our e-newsletters. That's helpful. But then we would love for you to send your youth our way. we have programs to engage them in mostly after school activities, and we're looking for the next generation of youth leaders. So whatever the youth is passionate about related to health, public health, air quality, anything that has to do with the tobacco and vaping epidemic, we want to talk to them, and we'd love to build them up and give them an outlet to practice their leadership skills, their speaking skills, their coalition building skills. We've got activities around social media, just getting the word out and being really good examples for their peers. And then the younger, people that are watching them, the middle schoolers watching what the high schoolers do. So we would love for you to send your youth our way. We have a good time with them, and they do some really great work.
Yeah, it sounds like a great development program. And we've got the website up for folks if they want to find out more information. Thank you so much for the work you're doing for our community and for being on Good Deeds.
Great. Thank you so much for having me.